from the Black Swan Media Studios, deep inside a secret underground bunker. We're speaking to freedom-loving patriots from all around the country and the world. Welcome to the Resistance. This is John Crump, live.
Good evening, everyone, to the last show of the week. I got my little pocket constitution right here that I carry with me everywhere. We are brought to you by Black Swan Tactical. Black Swan Tactical sells some really cool shirts and stuff like that. We also sell patches. We have some FFOA patches still here. And we have some Flying Rich patches and some other great stuff. We are brought to you by Black Swan Tactical. I own it.
Black Swan Tactical, your number one source for 2A streetwear. With shirts, mugs, hats, patches, flags, and more. There's always something to help you rep the 2A community. All proceeds go back into our projects. Viewers and listeners can take an additional 10% off with code CRUMPY. Unapologetically pro-gun, pro-liberty, and pro-freedom gear for the front lines of the culture war.
And we also brought to you by Tusk. Tusk is a cryptocurrency focused on the firearms market, and it's a really cool thing. Hi, Dark. How you doing out there? I know Hoff's going to say hi to you because you guys are like best friends and stuff like that. See Johnny Ross there out there as well. Carolina EDC, Zach Carr of Toxic Patch Co., which makes all our patches. Ting Ting, Appalachian Gun Runner, and everyone else out there that I haven't said hi to. Hi. But here is a little bit about Tusk.
Proudly sponsored by TUSC, the only cryptocurrency designed with the firearms market in mind, with 3-second processing times. It's the fastest cryptocurrency on the planet. With lower transaction fees than traditional credit cards. It's perfect for your e-commerce needs. For gun guys, by gun guys. Visit TUSC.network for more information and join the digital revolution.
And we are back, Wolverines, and I'm going to introduce you to my co-host for the next, I guess, couple weeks at least. Then he's going away to jail, prison, doing a little stint, doing a nickel or a dime, as the kids like to say, and it's Flying Rich.
I gotta get you the right sound effect. No wonder I'm not getting a job.
And the Hoff. What is up, Flying Rich?
Nothing. I'm doing a real show later today. I'm doing Hank's show at 7 o'clock.
What are you doing?
A real show.
What real show is that?
Okay, what kind of crap can we start this time to screw with Hank's show?
I don't know. I think we should start a channel war. You know.
So, did I not do something right? That the guys from Utreon aren't here?
I don't know. You're the one. You're the booker.
They
Yeah,
confirmed it.
you're the booger.
Hey, Dark. Where the hell? Why the hell are we in Dark here?
How'd he show up?
I don't know.
I thought I was watching the live stream.
Yeah, and I don't like being called the booger.
There's a really cool way to hack it. I just wanted to show you that I had one too, and I just miss you guys so much. I just wanted to
We can't hardly hear you, man.
Yeah, get off that Fisher Price headset.
Just
about
hit it
now?
with a bigger hammer.
What about now?
Well,
What about now?
I said I just wanted to show I too have one handy, and also I just missed you guys so much.
Look,
I
if you're
bumped up
getting a
your audio.
handy, I don't want to know nothing about it.
Yeah, so let's talk about Rich here. Did you screw up on the booking?
I got
Yes.
confirmation from them. They said they're going to be in.
What time zone are they in?
Yeah, but it adjusts properly for the time zone.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
The hell do I know?
Obviously not a lot.
Not a lot. I'm lucky I got through my first live stream.
Yeah, I don't know where the hell they are.
Edward Bauer, he accepted.
Did great.
Okay.
Check this. Have you seen these before?
Magazines?
X-Tech
Yeah.
Speed, they're
That's
X-Tech
the-
Speed Mags.
Oh.
So what we're gonna do is I have one right here. If you're allowed to own a 30-round magazine, because I don't want to get sued by some godforsaken
Commie state.
commie state, or you can drive to Virginia. You can have one of these magazines by using code X, hashtag XSEC. There he is. I'm in the Google Meet you sent.
Go down farther from the Google Meet. It's like 4 down from the Google Meet. Yeah, I saw that Google Meet too on mine. It's kind of a weird email thing.
Yeah, we're not in the Google Meet. Rich,
Go down. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go down 7 lines, and that 7th line is the link to the StreamYard.
nice job, Rich.
It's the StreamYard's email. It's kind of weird.
John, you get the same email everybody else gets. You made it.
Yeah, I make the link and I give it to you, so I never actually look
OTC.
at yours. Okay, so hashtag XTech for a chance to win this. Well, not this one. You would win this one, the one in the pack. And right now we have 0 entries. There you go. There you go, Zach, an Appalachian gun runner. There you go. All right. While we're waiting for Edward to get on here, let's talk about a little bit of stuff that's going around the gun world and stuff like that. And we're going to be talking about Utreon.
Oh, there he is. Okay.
Hey,
Hey, what's up? Sorry.
sorry about that.
Our producer is kind of incompetent.
It's okay. So's the host.
Ooh. Boom, boom.
All right, I'll take my shot.
Ow.
All right. So with the 3 of us, nah, just joking. I love the Hoff. So Ed, you want to be called Edward, Ed? What do you want to be called?
Either's good. Ed's good.
Which one?
Ed's good.
Ed. Okay, Ed. We're gonna start a channel war with Hank Strange.
He's not set up on Utreon yet. How can we do that?
Well, we can start a YouTube channel war. So
okay.
we're gonna tell my audience to go over there and cause some trouble. So,
Like you did, like Richard did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, if you can get them in, well, they can sign up.
Yeah.
Then we can have these wars on Utreon.
Yeah. Let's see.
Battlefield.
And we can hold guns too.
Oh, I can't do that. We're streaming to YouTube also.
We're streaming to YouTube, so can't do it.
For now.
I was gonna reach over.
Okay. Everyone out there, go to Hank's show tonight and ask him why he donated to Joe Biden. Everyone do that. Hank's show, ask him why he donated to Joe Biden.
And Rich told us.
And Rich
Oh,
told
I'm gonna
us.
be on the show tonight.
Yeah,
Okay, Patrick told us.
Patrick told the Hoff. Okay,
No,
babyface
somebody else. He's already mad enough at me already.
Okay, well
Yeah,
then,
it's okay, but you let him use your tools. Can't be that mad.
Eh.
Yeah, I like it. I think it works. Okay, let's talk about Utreon now that we're going to start the channel war because Hank Strange donated to Joe Biden. Edward, what is Utreon?
Well, first of all, we're kind of picture it as creating a home for creators, especially creators that are in niches that have suffered through bad policies from YouTube. So obviously, you guys are targeted in terms of special policies for you guys that don't really make sense. But generally speaking, like what we're first tackling is first of all becoming a replacement for Patreon. Patreon takes 8%. If you include processing, people don't realize it's actually 16.9% on let's say a $5 transaction. So we go under that by 5%. And we also do something else, which is the first 3 months of every subscription, 0 fees, not even processing. So the first thing we want to do is get people not relying on Patreon, which they've been acting more and more political. We know that. So get people using us instead of Patreon going forward. Doesn't mean send all your people, ask them to switch overnight. It means just going forward, it always makes sense to get people to support you through Utreon, number one. The second thing is Patreon isn't made for video especially. They took off in 2016 because of what was happening on YouTube, but they're not a video platform. Whereas Utreon is. You have all of your video on Utreon. You can make it so that your subscribers have access to some exclusive videos if you want. We do the live streaming. Super chats on YouTube are 30% fee. We do 15% for ultra chats. It's basically the equivalent. And yeah, you can like handle a gun, you can shoot it. So we're first like, we want to be the new ecosystem, the next place that people are going to have their, be video creators and do all the things they do. We want to tackle community stuff so people don't have to have a Discord and a Reddit as well in the future. But yeah, to start, it's basically, being a place where it's better than Patreon, where it's better than YouTube Live. And keep your YouTube by all means. It's just send people over to Utreon.
Yeah, one of the things I do like about Utreon that I think it has an advantage over places like Full 30 and Gunstreamer, stuff like that, is that it's not so niche that I think that's a issue with like some of the other places because people like to go places where they can see multiple things and not just one niche thing.
Yeah. Oh, I think Full 30 and Gunstreamer are going to have a hard time, continuing on with just gun stuff. It's just too small. You need the dollars from other places.
Yeah, the feedback we've been getting from creators within the gun niche is, well, first of all, one thing is we're like very well run. Like all the tech stuff, everything is done very well. We're on all the platforms like iOS, Android. We're taking care of that. So it's just a very, very, high standard in terms of the platform itself. And the other thing is it's built like, if you go to our topics page, firearms is between food and I forget what the other one was, but yeah, like there's tons of cooking or whatever it was. Oh, just got that. Let me find out what it actually is. Let's see, topics. Food,
before we start making up stuff.
Food and fiction, not the one you said.
Hoff just makes up shit all the time. I have like no idea. Like he told everyone out there that that Hank and all them shave their balls, and Babyface P told him, and Hank's whole stream was ruined by people asking him why he shaves his well. Oh yeah, we heard you shaved your balls, and he's like, "What the hell's going on?"
Dear God.
Then Patrick had to come on and basically.
I didn't tell him that.
Come on and deny that he told Hoff anything.
Well,
it was actually Flying Rich that told me.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyways, yeah, we cover all the topics, and it's not just a gun place. So it's actually meant to be in the long term a replacement for YouTube, but in the short term, it's just like no, use us as your Patreon. Use us to build up your community stuff. Use us to do live streaming, where you can do a lot more stuff. But yeah, people don't want to be on a platform that's just one topic.
Yeah.
What you want to do is go wide and actually have every topic.
Yeah, I mean that's what I think. So, how long ago did Utreon launch?
So we started the company right before COVID, actually. So fall of 2019.
Oh, great timing.
And we launched a year ago. It was not good timing.
Oh boy. So, I got a question. I'm assuming you're using Amazon Cloud, right?
We're using Amazon for S3.
Okay.
And we're actually working on setting up our own data center using like the S3 just as a protocol or interface, so that we're not reliant on single providers.
So are you? So what are you doing for the compute portion?
Yeah. So right now we're using Kubernetes to manage Docker images. So
Put in a private cloud, a public cloud.
Okay. I understand this. Rich understands this.
I have
Edward
no freaking
understands this.
idea what the hell you're
Hoff
talking
has
about.
doesn't
I'm just going to read
understand
my
this.
phone for a while.
And Hoff has the same knowledge of computers that most of all audience does, which isn't a bad thing, but it's just
You'd be surprised.
not what they deal in.
So let me zoom out a bit. So I think you guys are familiar with a company called Parler.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, after the let's see, it was the January 6th stuff. Amazon kicked them off, and they were completely dependent on Amazon.
Sure.
And they needed to take time to rebuild. And part of the issue was they had used technology that was specifically made for Amazon servers. So normally, if that happens, okay, you just switch to another provider. You can find one. It's not that hard. The problem is when you're using something called AWS Lambda. So basically, you've coded everything for Amazon, and Amazon's not letting you on anymore. You're screwed. So they made a critical architecture mistake. Us from the start, and especially after that, the imperative is never using Amazon special technology that can only run on Amazon. So when we're talking about stuff like Kubernetes and Docker images, it's basically a technology that lets us move to
go
where
anywhere
we want. So we can be on Amazon right now, but when it makes sense, we set up our own data center and we can just move it over actually very quickly.
So you're not vendor specific for cloud provider.
Correct. And some stuff that Amazon developed, like S3, which is for storage, a lot of other vendors are now supporting that as an interface. So we can actually move very quickly. And it's actually going to make sense pretty soon. We're going to be looking at doing that just from a cost perspective, not even from a dependence perspective.
So, John, was it Guns Out TV that was on S3 and sharing some videos out, and Amazon got wind of what the videos were and they shut them down?
I'm not sure.
Because I think there was a story like that they were sharing some content, and Amazon got wind of it, and they shut down their S3 storage.
Yeah, that's not surprising. So we've been seeing more and more of that. So definitely the way we've architected it is we can actually move very quickly. And just from a cost perspective, we're going to be doing that because setting up your own data storage, it actually pays for itself after about 2.5 months.
Really?
Yeah. So the math is. So the thing is, most internet companies, it doesn't make sense to set up your own data storage because it's you're like a SaaS company, meaning I don't know, you do a website, it does a service. It's not necessarily using a lot of data, so it doesn't make sense to build your own. You might as well just use Amazon, and the cost is almost negligible compared to this. Because we're doing video is very important. Video is very data intensive. It makes perfect sense for us to actually set that stuff up ourselves because it's a core competency.
So, what's your background?
Background is I actually didn't study computer science, basically doing business and running software companies, but I did my undergrad in biology.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I was a computer science major.
Cool.
I thought maybe you were a failed house painter or something. Yeah.
Had a landscaping business.
Yeah.
How big's your team?
Right now we're 12 full time. and we're going to be growing starting next year pretty quick.
Where you guys located at?
So our offices are in Toronto. The company itself is incorporated in Delaware, like most companies.
I'm a part-time Delaware resident, I guess.
Are you?
Well,
Not
soon
yet.
to be. I just bought a beach house in Delaware.
Okay. There's more companies registered in Delaware than persons there.
Yeah.
And just makes sense in terms of corporate law to just be there because they have the most developed corporate law. So yeah, we're mainly incorporated in Delaware as a C corp. Reason for that is, we have rules, but still it's better to be incorporated where you have the First Amendment, so that you have the widest latitude possible, and then we can have our platform rules and stuff like that.
So you're a Canuck?
Yes.
You like hockey?
Not that much.
What?
Then you're not a Canadian.
No, he's a curling fan. It's curling, not hockey.
Dude, curling's badass, man. It's the only thing
It's hypnotizing.
I love. I actually love. I love hockey and I love curling. So
I think curling would be better if they tried to hit each other with the stone. Full contact curling.
Oh,
Probably true.
So, as far as bandwidth, I mean, you got to have a huge amount of bandwidth for the video. What are you doing for that?
Yeah, so everything so with these public clouds, and even if you're using a private cloud, all of those things auto scale. So it's all been abstracted out. So what that means is the platform or cloud solution you're using actually handles all the bandwidth. Once we actually switch to a data center, it's just a question of having a right number of lines. And yeah, those are actually pretty quick to change. So we can adapt to whatever the bandwidth requirements are at the time.
Tell us the truth. You got a rack of servers in your basement. You got Google Fiber. Is that the truth?
No. It is not. No, it makes sense to actually do this stuff in a data center.
yeah, there's a lot of Amazon data centers there's a lot of data centers where I live at, but Amazon has a bunch of data centers here. Facebook does. Google. I live in a place called Ashburn in Virginia, and it's like more data centers per square mile than anywhere else in the world. It's like 80.
I heard there's a real big one under the Social Security building.
The Social Security data centers, actually, I know where that is. It's not in DC.
No, there's one buried underneath that nobody knows about. Well, until they had it on that movie.
That was the Die Hard movie.
Yeah.
Was that the one where he's flying the Harrier? Or
I think
F-35? So. F-35, I think.
Yeah. I think he was more crashing it than flying.
Yeah. Like
I saw it on TV. It had to be true.
So, as a tech guy, this isn't a big deal because I got John Crump. I can just call him on, setting up the RTP stream and all that bit. Are there free tools? Let me roll back.
You can't figure out how to set up an RTP stream. There's something wrong with you.
I can barely get a Docker container running.
You have the server and you have the key.
Later.
I mean that's it. I mean.
So, are there free tools that I could use on my phone to stream from, or basically am I stuck doing something like StreamYard and having the paid version?
So StreamYard is good because it lets you guys do this. So 4 people in a simultaneous stream. Otherwise, people tend to use stuff like OBS. There are going to be some apps, depending on iOS or Android, to do the same thing. But StreamYard is really what's letting you guys do this, which is more interesting.
Now, your app on the phone, is that going to have streaming built into it, just like I can do that from YouTube right now?
It will. We don't have streaming built in yet, or the channel manager, actually. That's desktop only. But that's definitely something we're going to build out.
See, that would be good for me because I'm looking at doing a stream, and it'll just be me doing like gunsmithing information,
which you can't do on YouTube.
Which I can't do on YouTube, and when I heard about you guys, it's like, that might be an interesting thing. Then people can ask questions and I can grab a gun and here's how you do it and
100%.
Go on from there.
All right. Yep. We are going to get to some questions. Somebody was asking, we are going to get to some questions. Thomas Hardy. So you can't upload anything inflammatory. That's pretty vague. Can you just like expand on what you mean by that?
Where is that from?
I guess so.
It could be from terms or something. Yeah, like
Yeah.
generally in terms of service, we're working on those in order to make those clear over time. What we're trying to do is, so you have had some video platforms that have gone like 100% free speech. The problem with those video platforms is they, pretty quickly the content you have on there is just one kind of content.
Porn.
Or even not that. Let's say they ban porn. It's really going to be a bit of a dumpster fire. So we do have to have some sort of rules like this. Generally speaking, the sort of release valve for this stuff is our content rating system. So because you can actually say, okay, this has a lot of graphic language, or actually that's not even what you say. You say, okay, we have a lot of swear words in this thing, frequent swearing, let's say. And then we'll actually calculate a content rating. We'll say this has graphic language, maybe 18 plus. And you can even specify, okay, it's in a comedic context or something. And then we can actually make it so that people that don't want to see stuff that's 18 plus, they don't see it, or people that their age is less than 18, they don't see it on the platform. It serves that purpose. And it serves another purpose, which is advertising. So we're looking to get advertisers on. We were at the range day and we met a lot of the advertisers, a lot of the manufacturers that want to be advertisers, but they can't on YouTube. And part of the reason we're doing the content rating system is this lets the advertisers really closely target what's their market. So, Coca-Cola or Disney doesn't want to advertise probably on firearms, but a firearms manufacturer or maybe a beer company or whatever, yeah, no problem, or hunting or anything.
Sure.
So it serves those two purposes. So yeah, like in terms of the rules that are actually in the terms of services, we're developing those to be less vague. But yeah, there's just a fundamental tension between one, advertising, which we're addressing through content rating, and two, it's like having access to the financial system, being able to take credit card payments and stuff that we do. And, if it were to really be like 100% free speech, there would just be no access to financial system or anything really. So for us, it's basically a question of striking a way better balance than what YouTube has done, and just being a lot more nuanced and reasonable about things.
So So you're trying to clear up the vagueness of terms of service.
Yeah, like the problem is, you can either be okay, we're 100% free speech, except for things that might be illegal, or you have rules, and then if you have rules, does it become like, okay, we're going to put every word in the dictionary and say, is this word allowed or not? Like we have to balance some sort of attention there, and so yes, we are working on improving that.
Okay, Vanessa Kitty wants to know how large your system setup is thus far. If it's cloud based, you can adjust it to whatever.
Yeah, so we have a whole lot of images running on a Kubernetes system. I mean, I don't we have, if you want to talk in terms of storage, we're a little over 100 terabytes at this point.
100, really? Wow. Yeah. I would have figured like into the petabyte range.
Petabyte range is pretty soon.
Yeah.
Like this stuff tends to move exponentially. So in terms of our planning right now, and the reasons why we're looking at actually doing our own data system right now is a petabyte's going to come real quick. 100 terabytes came real quick.
Yeah. So, now, money is something I always wonder about when you have somebody like an organization like you starting up. I mean, you got to have a stink load of cash for the infrastructure. Yeah, what's your burn rate? I mean, if you can vaguely talk about it, I don't expect you to
explain what a burn rate is, Rich. Come on.
Well, the amount of money is going through monthly on the infrastructure services. So storage, networking, salary, that's another thing.
Yeah, a lot of times startups have like a burn rate where they're burning through their money. But it's basically what it means because right now, like when you do a startup, you're not going to be profitable at first. So you need a big kitty bank, like a boatload of money to burn through to get profitable. And your burn rate is how fast you're burning through that money.
Yeah, so we're Flying Rich is mute. Yeah, we're actually we're funded. We in terms of the burn rate, like you can kind of tell, we have 12 people. Most of those are engineers. So you can kind of guess based on average engineering salaries what the burn rate is. But yeah, like a lot of companies that have tried to do video platforms, they've tried to put a lot of money into marketing. We so far have not done that because it doesn't make sense to put any budget into marketing before you've created a sticky product, because you're not getting the people coming on, and it's just wasted money. And in terms of our business model so far, because we're targeting Patreon and there's no network effects, like if you're actually trying to compete with YouTube directly, it just makes sense for people to come on because we have way lower rates than Patreon. So, you want to keep more of the revenues you're making, and also the viewers want more of the money to go to the creator. So that just makes sense. But yeah, like in terms of the burn rate, really the relevant metric would be runway, which is how long you have. As a startup, our target runway, we try to have like 2 years. So yeah, and we, we'll fund when we need to fund, but so far we're no problem with runway.
Shout out to Roger Frame out there, one of my really great friends who's recovering from some pretty nasty stuff right now. I'm going to get down there and visit him pretty soon. So Roger, I'm coming down to see you soon, whatever.
So you have all of like Military Arms Channel's videos, all of Mr. Guns and Gears. Did you approach them or did they find you guys?
So we started the first gun channel we approached. I think it was CN Arsenal like a year and a half ago. This was before we were even really launched. He came on, and then we started getting others coming on. So we may have approached some of them. I don't really. I'm not sure which ones we approached directly, but there's sort of like, there'll be a wave once you get one of them.
Yeah.
Others will come on.
So I put in for my channel to be imported. It seems like my new videos go over, but the ones that have already been there haven't been pulled over yet. Is there just a long queue?
Yeah, so there is a queue, but we have different queues that we run simultaneously. So what I can do is actually prioritize yours after this. We can just make it so it goes pretty quick.
I know when I signed up, it was about 2, maybe 3 weeks, and the first batch of videos got pulled over, and that was, I think that just hit about a week ago. They were pulled up, and then that's the one question I was going to ask, because I've had a bunch of people ask me, gun tubers, hey, you're on there. Yeah, I'm on there. I tried to get my videos. I just signed up yesterday and my videos aren't there. And it's like, dude, just chill out. It takes a little while,
Yeah, it takes a while. And what we actually worked on setting up, especially after the range day, is a special, like a separate importer queue just for the firearms channels, because so many are coming on. So that should speed up pretty soon.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to put a link out there to, it's going to go to Reefs Across America. What we are doing, we are buying reefs for the graves of soldiers, and it's one of the projects we're doing for my kids' Cub Scout thing.
Oh, cool.
And then we're going to go out and put reefs out there. So
and John's den mother. Yeah.
Our target is like 300, and we have like 7. So,
you got a long way to go.
And I bought all 7. No, it's good. I'm sure it will go quickly. I mean, they're not that expensive either. They're how much are they? Like,
John, you own Amazon. Just have their
just
whatever.
have Amazon.
Just have them buy them.
Yeah, I was an early investor in Amazon. I was one of the co-owners of Amazon. No, I really was not. That's a total joke there.
Don't let
another vicious YouTube rumor.
Yeah, it's a YouTube rumor that somehow people believed. I'm like, what?
Hank Strange started that one.
I don't know who started it.
And you guys are simultaneously live streaming to Utreon. So I don't know if people realize, but they can actually go watch this right now on Utreon.
Oh yeah, good point. Thank you.
Yeah, I will put the link up, and if you guys want to jump over to Utreon, go right ahead.
So we're multiple streaming. So we're streaming to John's Utreon, my Utreon, John's YouTube, my YouTube.
Nice.
So I guess we got four targets.
No,
going
we
on
have a
right
lot
now.
more than that.
Oh, you're on Facebook, and what else?
I'm on Facebook, Twitch,
Twitch. Oh, okay.
D Live. I don't know.
You just
You
click
don't
all the
even
buttons
know.
in
You
StreamYard.
just-
Yeah, you can have up to 10, and I'm at 10.
Damn.
Well,
I'm
you know.
looking at doing one.
I
I don't know. I don't know if I should like start on YouTube, start a stream on YouTube and then get everybody to go over to Utreon.
Yeah, that's the
'Cause-
best way to do it. Because what we look at YouTube as just a funnel for discovery because
Yeah.
they have the network effects. They have all the people on there. So the best thing is actually start a stream on YouTube, get people to come onto Utreon, especially because the Ultra Chats are half the cost of Super Chats on
Yeah.
YouTube. And yeah, you can switch over and then you can have more relaxed rules.
Yeah.
And one of the things you could do is if you actually start having people on Utreon more, or you could just schedule and say, hey, look, every Friday we're on Utreon. We're allowed to handle guns and even fire.
There we
What you can actually do is download the video off Utreon, post it to YouTube as an upload, and there it's not even a live stream anymore. So you can have the guns and everything, and you can have the ad monetization if you can get it somehow.
Ooh.
All right. So, people were saying we're asking softball questions.
Really?
So, let me go ahead and ask some really tough questions. What is your plan for getting people over to Utreon from Facebook? There's been so many things out there that have attempted this and failed. Why don't you think you're going to fail?
So what they're doing is they've been committing like a variety of mistakes. Some of them is they think the problem with YouTube is just censorship as such. Therefore, they have to do the opposite. Therefore, it's a no censorship platform. And then you're dead in the water. You'll never get investors. You'll never get advertisers. Most content creators won't want to be in there. So that's just a dead end strategy. It doesn't work. The other thing they do is, you've had some platforms like VidMe, for example. They just go in without thinking about monetization whatsoever. And they actually grow really fast, and they grow so quickly that they can't even handle it. And that was the end of VidMe. Or you'll have some things that are just poorly run. I've heard some stories about some of the ones you were mentioning, the niche firearms ones. They do two mistakes. One is it's niche, and two, poorly run. Those are problems. And then there's some that have been like sort of crypto backed, but then they have problems with the SEC. That type of thing. There's a bunch of like modes of failure that exist here. And the ultimate one is maybe trying to actually take on YouTube. So I've been asked like, how are you going to take on YouTube? How do you do that? Well, it's like, rule number one is don't try to take on YouTube, because YouTube has network effects. You can't solve the problem of everybody's on YouTube, and therefore if you're saying, hey, bring your channel instead on Utreon, when it's one or the other, that's not going to work because everybody's on YouTube. So what we're doing is we're actually making it so that YouTube helps us. And the way we do that is people, because they want they want to pay 30% for a YouTube membership, they use something like Patreon. And at the start of the video, they say, hey, you want to support me on Patreon. So they're already funneling their people to sites like Patreon or maybe even Subscribestar in order to get that support. So for us, it's like, okay, well, let's be better than Patreon by being also a video platform and building all the community stuff. And let's really undercut Patreon's rates. So 5% less on a $5 transaction. First 3 months of every sub is 0 fees. That's pretty damn good. And we even have if you look at the For Creators page on our website, we have a calculator, and you can actually see how much you're saving compared to Subscribestar or Patreon. So we make it a no-brainer for creators to use us instead of Patreon. And they're already sending their traffic to Patreon. And the other thing is when you send your traffic to Patreon, you never get a sub on Patreon that wasn't someone you sent. You know, if creator A gets people to use their Patreon, creator B doesn't benefit from that. There's actually no network effects on Patreon. So basically the soft underbelly of the entire video ecosystem is something like Patreon. So that's why we're going Patreon first, implementing that functionality. There's the advantage for live streaming where we charge half the rate. Again, makes perfect sense to send people over there. You keep more of the money. And that way people are actually pushing people towards Utreon because it makes financial sense. And we don't have to spend money on advertising as a video platform and all this stuff. And then that's how we get the network effects, because we have everybody there for the Patreon functionality. And then you can compete eventually with a YouTube. But attacking YouTube head on doesn't make any sense.
No. Let's say you do get a bunch of people over there. How do you plan on handling if you have like an explosive growth? Do you have the bandwidth? Do you have the money to pay for the bandwidth?
Yeah, so YouTube does two things. Well, YouTube does a lot of things, but one of the things they're doing is, for example, memberships are 30%, and that's why part of why people are sending people towards Patreon. One is the rates are way lower, and two is people are very nervous about YouTube having control of their entire business and all their revenues. That's just a huge business risk. YouTube, part of the reasons that they charge so much is, if you think about it, they're serving all of this video, and a lot of it is not monetizable. There's people uploading like 24-hour music remixes that nobody's watching, or live streaming that, or uploading just tons of content that nobody watches. Because YouTube has this leaky faucet problem, and all the video costs money, and they have so much money. They're like the dumpster of the internet for video, basically. They have high costs, and part of the justification for 30% is also they have the discovery. They have a lot of the people. In our case, because we're focusing on channels that want monetization, because we're focusing on Patreon first, meaning we want channels that want to monetize. They want to get ultra chats. They want to get subscribers. To the extent we're going to build out the community functionality, unlike Reddit and Discord. Reddit and Discord makes the money. You don't make any money for having a subreddit for your channel. You don't make money off your Discord. We can build that out so that all the engagement is to the benefit of the creator, which is what the viewers actually want. So, it's part of the problem VidMe had. They had no thoughts to the monetization. So on the cost side, it's limited because we're focusing on people that want to be monetized. We're attacking monetization first. We're making sure we have the revenues coming in.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would like to say to CloverTech, have a nice day. Have fun. CloverTech is a YouTube loyalist who doesn't believe YouTube can do anything wrong, and he's a defender of YouTube. So I think he gets kind of jaded and salty whenever someone wants to compete with his beloved Susan.
Look,
see ya.
Look, YouTube is great. Like YouTube, they kind of invented a whole they're not the first video platform. I think technically Vimeo or Dailymotion or one of those came first. But they were like really, really great until more and more it became more political and more restrictions. And because they're a bigger company now, they're not moving that fast. So for example, Twitch took over live stream gaming when it came out. You'd think YouTube is so big, there's no reason Twitch should be able to take that from under their nose, but it happened because they're big and they can't react to this stuff really quickly. Patreon started in 2013, but it took off in 2016 as a reaction to what was happening on YouTube with monetization. And Patreon's functionality was copied by YouTube years later. It took years for memberships to come out. So they're not that fast, and it's easy to innovate around them if they're smaller and more nimble. They actually thought, hey, let's solve the problem with Twitch by just buying Twitch, but it turns out Google put the nix on that because Google doesn't want to open itself up to an antitrust action against Google itself just so that YouTube can buy Twitch. It's just not significant enough for Google. Google is an ad company. That's why in 2016, when the adpocalypse happened, it was like, well, all of AdSense is being boycotted by all the advertisers. Well, we're just going to flip the switch on YouTube. So there's a lot of incentives behind everything. But I mean, the original point is YouTube is great, but there's problems with it, and that's what we're trying to solve. And maybe they're not the platform that's going to be there for the next generation. But they're definitely always going to be there for a while.
Sorry, 2A-EDU is after. I want to get you in touch with 2A-EDU. I think you would be very good for your platform. So I'm trying to get to some questions here.
Actually, he was at a rec veteran. I'd be surprised if you guys didn't meet up.
Yeah, I think he talked to him for a minute.
Was that Stu?
No, 2A-EDU.
Zooch?
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah, okay.
No. Okay. JQ is asking about cryptocurrency. Have you thought about taking cryptocurrency, or are you just worried about the SEC stuff?
Yeah, we have thought of it. We've spoken to lawyers about it. It's really difficult to do that in a way that makes sense. So yeah, it's something we're still looking at, but there's reasons why it doesn't necessarily make sense to just plunge into that.
All right. Another question. The output to the stream, what resolution is it? Is it 1080p?
1080p.
That's pretty good. Yeah, no one's going to be doing 4K anytime soon. I mean, StreamYard doesn't support 4K. Yeah. What the hell? Okay, whatever. Yeah. So you're in Toronto. You're doing this. This is your full-time job?
Yep.
Have you started any other startups?
Yeah, well, every company you start is a startup at first. My first company was medical apps, and we did that for 10 years.
Yeah, stuff like we're still getting questions about the inflammatory and objectionable stuff in the terms of service. Someone would have to go pretty far. It wouldn't be like a political opinion, right?
Yeah, like no, anything.
Can you give an example? How about if somebody went in and talked about COVID?
No problem.
No problem.
What if we named the whistleblower?
No problem.
3D printing of firearms.
No problem.
Potty
All right,
mouth.
That's awesome. Have you had any input from like creators?
Yeah. So we've actually been advised by a bunch of them in terms of prioritizing what we're building, because there's in a business like this, there's like a million things to do, and you really have to focus the engineering where it matters. So yeah, we've been advised a lot by creators in terms of what we need to prioritize.
What about prostate exams?
You can not be picked one. I mean, maybe as a medical thing. I'm not sure.
You wouldn't want to let it as an enjoyable thing, that's for sure.
No.
All right. Thomas Hardy wants to know what you're about to say about Tucker Carlson before I cut you off.
Yeah, nothing he says on Fox would be regarded as objectionable. In terms of being on the platform. Anybody can have their opinion on him, but yeah, he's just a normal guy. No problem.
How much traffic is your site seeing a day?
Right now we're getting like a few thousand a day. It varies based on the day. Weekends are a little lower. But yeah.
That's pretty good. What's your? Okay, I'm trying to ask questions. My issue is I'm very, very, very technical, as Rich will tell you, and I'm trying to ask questions in a way that's not technical.
Oh, come on, John. We got technical
understand.
people out there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Hoff will understand, and it's kind of hard for me.
Yeah, and all right, so John and I, we've built data centers, cloud infrastructure, all of that kind of stuff. Richard Hoffman, on the other hand, is a gun guy. He's got his CNC lathe right behind him. He's got a mill to the left of him. So he's dealing in the physical world.
And they've got stupid computers on them, so I work real well with them.
So, Richard is, his interest in Utreon is, hey, I can show how to do, build a firearm, he builds machine guns, that this is something in Clover before he left. He's like, well, the new rules in YouTube, they're going to be allowing gunsmithing.
No, they're not.
They might not allow you to gunsmith a full auto Uzi.
Yeah. From what I've read, they're going to allow you to show how to clean a gun.
So apparently, even field street. So Edward, one of the things we didn't even ask you: are you You're a Canadian.
Yeah. Do
you hunt? I guess we can't ask. Or you have a limited number of firearms you can own in Canada.
Yeah. So I actually took so you have to take a course. We have unrestricted permits and we have restricted permits. I've taken a course for unrestricted. I haven't actually applied for the permit yet. It was right before COVID. But yeah, so I haven't, I don't own a firearm yet, but once we can actually apply for permits again, I'd like to.
Okay.
So you're 2A curious, as I would say.
More than curious.
Oh, I wouldn't say 2A. There's a difference between 2A and the right to bear arms. 2A puts a limit on government where everyone has a right to bear arms. Yeah. Okay. He's in Canada, so to get a gun, you have to go through a lot of different stuff, and it sounds like you're going through it.
Yeah, you have to apply with the RCMP, which is kind of like our FBI.
Yeah.
And it's very restrictive. Like, for example, if you were transporting a firearm in a car, you would have to have an itinerary and take the shortest distance. Going to a range or something.
Can't stop at the gas station.
Probably you could, but
I want to say hi to Letty. Hi, Letty.
Oh, Letty's out there. Hi, Letty.
Hi, Letty.
Yeah, what I want to explain my technical background to everyone out there is I started doing technical stuff like in the mid 90s. So I have my technical side and my non-technical side. I am what's known as a SME, an SME. So when I usually talk about technical stuff, it's with a lot of other very technical people. So trying to dial it down is kind of a little
That's
issue
why
for
I'm
me.
here.
That's why I usually don't do technical streams. Because I like to ask questions.
And John's wife always says, "John, talk geek to me."
No, she does not. And you know that. Yeah, it's that's why I don't do physics streams and I don't do technical streams usually. But yeah. So right now you're on AWS and you want to move to your own data centers, which will probably be near me. What data centers have you contacted, or have you contacted that yet?
So there's a bunch throughout the States, a bunch throughout, there's some in Canada that we could use, but we're probably going to use some American ones. And yeah, my CTO would actually know a lot more in terms of the details, but yeah, we've contacted a bunch of them and we've priced everything out.
Yeah, one of the cool things about using data centers is you can usually just buy a cross connector like an AT&T or something. Okay, Google, whatever, Google. You can usually buy like a cross connect to AT&T or Verizon or something like that, and they just run it from your cage if you're in a shared room, from your cage to one of the network provider cages. So it's a lot cheaper and a lot quicker because you're not running like dark fiber or anything else like that. You're just running a straight cross connect. So that's why a lot of people go with data centers. And basically for everyone out there, when you hear cloud, basically what the cloud is. It's just a bunch of servers in a data center, and they might have like a bunch of physical servers, and they're going to be running something like VMware or something like that, or even AIX, which is an
KVM.
yeah, something like that. And then they're going to have VMs, which is virtual machines on that,
Or containers. He's doing
or
Kubernetes.
LPARs or stuff like that, or containers. Yeah.
Yeah, like a cloud, for people that don't that aren't technical, a cloud service, the goal of it is to abstract out all the physical stuff that's happening, so you don't have to worry about that. So an analogy, let's say, you could make a meal in your kitchen, and then you have to take care of getting the ingredients and doing the cooking and everything, and then you can serve your family or whatever. A cloud service is more like going to a restaurant, and you're just interfacing with you're talking to a server, like someone who's actually taking your order, and you don't have to worry about what's happening in the kitchen. That's just in the background. They're taking care of that, and then you're eating your meal. So it's just abstracting away the physical stuff. They take care of the details, the data centers and everything. That's what a cloud service is for.
No, because I try to explain cloud to people. That's actually a very good way of doing it.
Yeah. Okay. How do creators get monetized?
So we have two things right now. We have one, subscriptions, and two, we have Ultra Chats. So for anybody that's looking at this stream on Utreon right now, there's actually right next to the send message field, there's actually a button for that, and you can either do an Ultra Chat or you can subscribe to the channel.
Okay.
So somebody sent me $5 on the stream John and I did a week ago. How do I get that out?
So in your channel manager, you'll have a payouts tab, and just whenever you're ready, just request a payout, and that's it.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
All right.
How many advertisers are on your site right now?
So we don't have ads running right yet. We actually met a whole bunch of manufacturers at the Range Day that are interested in advertising. It's just it can't happen on YouTube. So for us, what we want to do is, if you check out our roadmap, we want to actually build that out. There's off-the-shelf services that we can use to actually handle an ad server and all that technology. So that's not too difficult. The main thing is matching creators with advertisers and getting some deals going. So that's something we're going to be looking at starting in the next several months.
And the advertisers are going to be able to determine what type of videos they want their ads to run on. And that's we talked about that earlier, and that's just something that has to happen, which...
Yeah, so they can say, I want, here's my campaign, let's say $5,000. Here's my ad. I want it to run as a bumper ad. They can say, I want it to run on channels within this topic or this specific channel, or they can say that, and I want a content rating of whatever. So nothing with graphic language, let's say. So it's going to be very targeted in terms of who they can advertise with.
How would you define graphic language?
So graphic language in our content rating system, so there's actually adult language and there's graphic language. So you actually say the frequency of certain swear words in the video, and then it'll decide based on the frequency, it'll decide, and it's kind of vague, like it's not meant to be a science or anything, like tell me I said this 3 times. It's not that specific. It's just like, okay, if you know you're going to be swearing a lot in this video, you kind of just say that. And then, depending on what you said, it'll either say adult language or graphic language. It's kind of like, on HBO where it says like AL or GL. We generate those as content descriptors, and then we'll generate age accordingly. And that's used for rating purposes for the video. And
just put CBWE firearms and they'll get it.
Okay. Somebody wants to know, how do you sign up to upload video? They're looking around.
So you can sign up on the website. During the sign up, you can indicate that you're a creator and you want your channel imported, and you just link your channel and you can give some notes.
All right. Is that going to be cleared up on the website to make it a little bit more obvious? Or
so it's during the sign up. If you don't get it during the sign up, you can actually, in the account menu, you can go to the channel manager and it gives you instructions to apply.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Band Talk wants to know if you guys deboosted videos with adult or graphic language. What deboosting is, it makes it less likely to show up. Think of it as shadow ban light.
No. So what we do is, if you're logged out, there's nothing that's over rated over the age of 13. If you're logged in, you see everything. And yeah, we do not like deboost based on language and titles or anything.
All right. We've been on for an hour. I'm gonna have you back on to answer more questions, but this has been I'm very curious about AP. Okay, let's see. Must have missed it. Sorry. Do you see? Oh, okay. This is something that a lot of creators have. Do you have any policies or direct links to firearm products and chats
good
and
question.
descriptions?
Our policies.
That is a very good question.
Yeah, our policies do it.
Yeah. Okay. So you
Do it.
So you can do it.
Okay. So if I say, hey, I got this from Brownells, I got this barrel, boom, I can say, click on the link below.
Yeah, 100%. So
wow, because that's a big, because I have affiliate links for dozens of manufacturers, and I can't use them for the most part.
All right. Last question before we get out of here.
I just want to elaborate a bit more on that. So the point has been made better by other people, but to resume it, it's basically, if you buy a firearm online, it is literally the safest way to buy a firearm, because everything is going to be logged with the manufacturer and the FFL stuff, and it's just literally the best way. Like, the sketchiest way to buy a firearm is just like direct one-to-one, and there's no trace of it.
Right.
So it's kind of this weird irony where people that don't understand anything about firearms are making the policy for how that stuff works on YouTube. And they literally don't understand the point that it's the safe way to buy a firearm, technically, the safest way, technically, from just knowing who has this thing point of view. So, there's always a background check when you do it online. So we have no problem with that, because it just makes sense. And that's generally how we approach things.
All right, and this has to be the last question because we have to get out of here. But what percentage of the viewers that watch the videos on Utreon are actually logged in?
So the front page is where you're not going to see stuff that's over the age of 13 in terms of content rating. It's just the front page. If you were to go to someone's channel, you can see whatever they have in their channel. If you were linked to their channel, you can see whatever's linked to their channel. If you're linked to a video, you can watch that. It's strictly the front page. Doesn't have anything over age of 13 in terms of content rating. And yeah, if you're logged in, you see everything as well. If you go through the topics, you'll see everything. So it's just that. And we're very transparent about it.
All right. That
Very
sounds
cool.
Good. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. I know you guys have tons more questions. We will have Ed back on, but right now we have to get out of here because I got stuff to do and I got a bunch of articles to write still and some GOA stuff to do as well. Apology ATF. Go Brandon. Let's go, Brandon.
Where is
it? But before we go out, let's do the stream. Let's do the pick. We got to still do the sorry if I didn't get to your questions, guys. There was a lot of questions.
We'll have to have you back, Ed.
Yeah, there was a lot more questions than we usually get. And people were getting kind of testy if we didn't get to the questions.
Oh, the contest.
Yes, the contest. All right, we are gonna go. Edward, say go, and then we'll do it.
Go.
There we go. It's going. Well, let's
Hurry
see.
Is it okay if BW wins?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
I
can't fix this.
JQ.
Rod Brown. info@crumpy.com, and I'll get you out your X-Tech speed loader, courtesy of X-Tech.
Congratulations.
X-Tech is great. I love X-Tech. They're a great company. I can't say enough about them. They're not a sponsor, but they're just,
I printed my speed loader.
they're just a great company. So yeah, X-Tech, they make some really awesome stuff. Their mags are not the cheapest, but they're like battle quality. You know, they're actual shit that you want to take into war with you.
So I don't know about you, but I really don't want to go into war at all. But
I don't want to go into war at
I
all. But if I'm going to war with like an AK mag, there's $15 AK mags out there. X-Tech mags, the top end cost about $40, but it's because they are good. All right, so with that, we are out of here. We're gonna go around and give everyone a chance to plug a channel and plug themselves. Then we're gonna have a words of wisdom, and then we go. So I'm gonna go to Rich. Edward, you're gonna go last.
Okay.
Right before me.
So flyingrich.com, youtube.com/flyingrich, and so of course it's utreon.com/c/flyingrich for my Utreon channel. 7 o'clock, so an hour from now or less, I'll be on Hank's channel, and we'll be talking about my 3D printed Glock 34 bullpup.
Oh, one more question, Edward. Is there any not chance or anything that will get rid of the Flash C? Are you any plans? Because right now, like if you go to like youtube.com/John Crump News or /John Crump Live, a lot of people forget to see.
Yeah, we're probably. Oh, you're talking about forgetting the C.
Yeah, so if I pimp my channel on Utreon, like YouTube, I'm youtube.com/flyingrich. On Utreon, I'm utreon.com/c/flyingrich.
Yeah, so the reason to have the /C is to not have. I'm going to get a little technical. It's like namespace collisions. We could in the future look at like reserving those so that could be used, but not yet.
All right, that worked for me. All right, so Rich, you pimped out your stuff. Did you give a channel?
Yep. A channel. Oh, I got to give a channel.
Yes.
Chatter on the Wire.
Chatter on the Wire.
He's in my chat.
All right. Richard Hoffman.
I'm on most of the social medias. It's all just
you keep on doing that. I'm going to go get something really quick.
Okay. It's all just, whatever I need to put in at BWE Firearms. My Utreon channel is Utreon, /C/BWE Firearms.
Yeah, John had to start dinner cooking.
Yeah.
John, we didn't say anything bad about you, just in case you're wondering.
All right.
So
I'm gonna.
Rich is done. It's up to Ed.
No, hold on. Before we get to Rich, because we got something, and I'm going to send a bunch of these out to Hoffman for you guys. Our November patch.
Look at that.
It's November. You're already getting rid of me?
This is for the November patch. In November, it's not freaking November yet, man. We got
nobody
weeks.
wanted your patch, so we're starting November early.
No, we're not starting November early. I'm going to send Rich patches so he can give them out early if he so chooses to do.
I'm not giving them out. They can buy the damn thing.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to send you like 100 of them. I'm going to send you like, I don't know, a few to give out for you, whoever you want to give out to you, your Patreon people, whatever. But yeah, I'm going to send you a bunch. But yeah, they're pretty cool patches. It's right there in my patch wall. This is one of my favorite patches, the Uzi and everything. It's great. All right, so let's go to Edward.
I'm Edward Brower at utreon.com. Sign up and look forward to seeing you there.
All right. We are done for today. I am going to pimp the Who Moved My Freedom podcast at Lifestyles of the Locked and Loaded, which is kind of cool. That's Hank's show. Rich will be on there tonight. You can always check out me on Patreon, patreon.com/John Crump, Utreon /C/John Crump, I think it is.
Well, don't you have John Crump Live and John Crump News?
Well, not on Utreon. I only got one.
Okay.
Maybe in the future I'll split them off, but right now I only got one.
Actually, question: Why did you do 2 on YouTube? Is it?
Oh, okay. Very simple question. I have people on YouTube that like just my short form content. Then I have people that like my long form content, and I got tired of hearing complaints about you need to do more short form, you need to do more long form. And plus, I usually do a video a day, and I do 4 live streams a week, so they kind of clash. And YouTube won't really push if you do more than one. If you do more than one video a day. So ever since I kind of separated them out, I've experienced explosive growth. I don't know what the hell my phone's doing. I've experienced a higher rate of growth since I split them out.
Yeah, there's a whole science to figuring out YouTube's algorithm.
Yeah, so
And
the
then it
algorithm,
changes.
yeah. So if you do 2 different types of content, the algorithm seems to not like that.
Yeah.
So by splitting them out, I've seen a huge difference. Someone told me that it was like that, and I didn't know if that was true or not, but I have seen a huge difference since I split them.
Okay, cool.
And thanks to CoffeeZilla for exposing that. CoffeeZilla's a guy on YouTube who talked to someone, and he separated out his live streams and everything else, but he's a lot bigger. He's like a million people followers on both. But since he separated it, he was like, I'm separating him out because I was told behind the scenes this is what you should do to experience like a lot of growth, and it works. So it's just a way around. Just like making shorts, my short-term videos. I make a lot of shorts now because apparently that leads to growth. And every time
I don't want to hear about your shorts.
All right, thank you. But yeah, that's why.
Okay.
Words of wisdom. I had some words of wisdom that I was going to do, but because of the whole Clover thing, don't be married to one platform. Always cover your ass. Always be willing to explore new platforms. And don't be a loyalist to any platform, including Utreon. Sorry,
unless they pay you a lot of money.
That is true. But yep, that's the words of wisdom. Hi, Letty, and we will be back next week. Who do we have on next week?
I closed the calendar. I don't have the calendar open.
Oh my God.
Monday. Who do we got? I think we have Brass Bandicoot on Monday. And I clicked the wrong thing. Who's sending me a text telling me I should know better?
We have a lot of people on.
Brass Bandicoot, Latina's Locked and Loaded on Tuesday, Control Pew in Vin on Wednesday, and Coda Boy 32 on Thursday.
Awesome. That really works for me. All right, guys. I will see you guys later. You guys have a great day. And I'm going to end the stream over on Utreon. I think I have to do that before I close it down, right?
Yep. Click it end. I'm sure.
Rich, go ahead and check your stuff just to make sure.
It's done.
All right, I'm ending it here.
Ed's checking. He's spying on us.
Just looking at the stream. Yeah, ended.
And mine is ending right now. So I'll see you guys later.
All right, Ed, thank you.
Bye, guys.
What the hell?
Thanks.